Diane E. Samson is the author of Gems of Fire, Valley of Thorns, and Mountain of Flame. Her love of words led her to earn a degree in magazine journalism, and she has worked as a reporter, editor, and in public relations. She will never be without a golden retriever. Diane, take it away.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Hi, I'm Diane Samson again, and today I am reading an abridged excerpt from my very first book in the young adult fantasy series, Gems of Fire. So here, Anna has been sold as a slave, and she finds herself in kind of a pickle, hiding in a cabinet and trying not to be discovered. So here it goes. Anna's head whirled as Anwar's voice transformed into a dull, slow chant. She tried to block out the voice knocking at the edge of her mind, louder and louder. She couldn't stop it. It wanted to shred her, rip her, kill her. She closed her eyes, but couldn't rid her mind of the thing with the terrible red eyes and claws ready to tear her apart. She was fighting and losing. She slipped to the cabinet's floor. Desperate, she thought of home, the priest, her mother, anything but here, rolling hills of green, cool, swift streams, horses' hooves throwing sod in their thundering wake. She felt Farley under her again, galloping hard and eating up ground with huge strides. She saw the lamp. The voices slowed in her head, but Anwar's voice was still chanting. A new voice sounded. In 2 moons, the scene will be set. A full moon will light the way. The city of white rock will fall, and the dead will be your prey. Anna focused on the riddle. The claws pricked her mind. She almost cried out in pain. The crimson eyes bored holes through her, and at once she stood in front of the evil presence, fully exposed. Claws reached for her throat, and Anna screamed in her mind, "No, leave me." She clamped her eyes shut and pulled her hair so the pain would block out the horrible voice. The claws lessened their grip. A new voice, soft and sweet, filled the air. The grip loosened as if its owner listened as well. A bit of caution we give you now. A prisoner will run free. If the truth is told in time, your defeat is sure to be. The pressure was back twice as hard, like long fingers of steel cinching Anna's throat. She gasped and clawed for air. I'm going to die. She pictured the chapel and the light on the altar. It flickered in the back of her mind, small and unattended. She focused on that light, drawing it toward her. The blackness increased its grip in desperation. Again, those deep red eyes bored into hers. "No, leave me alone," Anna screamed in her head again. She called to the chapel's light and fire pulsed through her. The pressure in her neck released and she sucked great gulps of air into her lungs. With a jolt, she fell against the back of the armoire. In the same instant, the fire in the room flashed and went out. She opened her eyes, panting and hoping that no one had heard her. "What happened?" asked Seamus. Something powerful interrupted our connection. Anwar's voice was weary. "Can you try again?" "No, I'm too drained. Hand me a bandage. The spirits feed on the energy in my blood and that in the gems." Anwar paused. "We may know enough. At the second moon, the time will be right." What could the spirit have been saying about a prisoner? "I wouldn't know, my lord." "Do you have more gems?" "A whole chest full." With these gems, I will be able to discern the meaning. If someone stands to thwart us, I will eliminate them. Your gods will help. We have time. How many men follow you?" "Hundreds will follow me to the death," said Seamus. "After all the royal heads are gone, you'll have your way with the armies." "Trust me," he chuckled. "That stupid king won't know what hit him." "Are you then in an agreement that I shall control all the north with you on the throne?" But answering to me, the king asked, "You will pay your tribute in gems of power." Anna heard Seamus make a kissing noise toward the floor. Disgusting. Worse was the slow panic rising in her heart. Seamus was plotting to overthrow her father. She thought of the man in the tavern. She must find him. She must warn her father. "My king, you have the mind and the will of the great rulers of the past. You will be my lord and be remembered forever for your greatness and glory in this kingdom and all the way to the north," Seamus said, groveling. Anna thought she was going to be sick. She was already dizzy from the incense. "Then our time is set?" 2 moons, answered Seamus. 2 moons, said the king. "You won't regret giving me these gems. The spirits will guide us to victory. Now refresh yourself and be on your way." Thank you, my king. Seamus left the room. My king. He should hang for those words alone. Anna heard others join the king, who apparently ate a meal. He now spoke to his subjects in a language Anna couldn't understand. Would they ever leave? After several hours of sitting in the cramped armoire, Anna's eyelids grew heavy. Fatigue took over, and she slept. The room was dark and silent when she woke. She rubbed her neck and longed to stretch her legs. Her hand trembled as she pulled the latch on the door. Locked. Oh no. She wiggled the handle a little harder, making a quiet clicking noise. No luck. Oh, she had to get out. Calling for help wasn't an option, and there were no loose boards in the back of the cabinet. She shoved the handle harder. Her foot slid on the floor, bumping into the back of the armoire. She banged her shoulder into the door with all of her strength. It swung open with great force. A man grabbed her as she stumbled. Been hiding out, sneaking around, said a cruel voice in her ear. Light a lantern, he called. We have a spy. No, I was only locked in and I fell asleep. I didn't know where the sheets went and... Silence, he struck her nose, and Anna recoiled in pain and dizziness. She tasted blood. What is this? Asked a voice Anna shuddered to remember as the king's. He walked into the room. My good king, we found a servant girl locked in the wardrobe. Anna kept her eyes on the floor. And how long have you been there? He waved his hand. It doesn't matter. Kill her. He turned back as he reached the door. Wait, muzzle her instead. Jolly will make good use of her. Lock her in the dungeon until he can be summoned. The king left. Do you know what muzzle means? Asked the burly man, grabbing her by the hair. We cut spies' tongues out so they can't tell what they know. We'll see what Jolly will pay for you. He loves the muzzled girls best, the other man said, snorting. His breath reeked. Anna kicked and screamed, No, I didn't hear anything. Please, no. The man punched her in the stomach and she doubled over in pain, gasping for air. No, someone, please. Anna's chin jerked up and a rough, filthy hand grabbed her tongue. Anna gagged as the other man drew his blade. She squeezed her eyes shut. This was it. Her heart pounded so fast she thought she might collapse. The door burst open, an arrow released. The hand lost its grip on her tongue as its owner fell to the floor. An instant later, the other man fell, clutching an arrow piercing his chest. Anna would have fallen as well if a man hadn't caught her and tossed her over his shoulder. He ran. He tore down the stairs, taking them two at a time. Anna's sore head hit his back at every jolt. He plopped her on the ground and they sprinted to the stables. Finally, they reached his horse. He threw the saddle on and yelled, Can you ride? Yes, Anna choked out. She hoped he was the man who had asked for water, but she hardly cared. He mounted and she leapt up easily behind him. The horse charged out the stable door. Duck, he yelled as the door frame zipped over their heads. Men with swords yelled and ran in their direction. An arrow whizzed by Anna's arm. Go, she yelled. They're coming. So thanks for listening. So that was one scene from Gems of Fire, and I'll send it back to Sarah. Also, you want to look for my giveaway. Thanks so much.